So yeah, any cushions, and if you're cold at all, any blankets, but it's quite warm today, which is good. And yeah, any props and things you might like to have. So we're going to start lying on our backs. Now, if you've got something like a rolled up towel or a cushion, you can put it lengthways. If you don't, you can put something, just a small cushion, kind of just, it's going to go above your upper back. So if you want to just get your prop just below your lower back, or if it might be a bit higher if it's smaller, and you just want that upper back open and chest open and let the arms be nice and wide. And it might be nice for you to bring your feet, soles of your feet together, but if that doesn't feel good, then you can have the legs out straight. So just finding a comfortable position to get started. And if you want those soles of the feet together, let the knees drop wide into your butterfly pose. So we're really starting to think about opening the chest, the shoulders. You can even bring the arms sort of overhead. You might just sort of interlace the fingers and let the arms be dangling behind you. Just make sure your head is supported by something, or you might have it on the floor if that feels comfortable enough for your neck to be really in extension and open there. So just finding a comfortable position. And allowing the body to come to rest there. So just supported under the upper back, chest open, feet, soles of feet together, knees dropping wide in that reclined butterfly position. So just remembering your practice is always your practice. I'm just here to guide you through. So at any point, if something doesn't feel good in your body, please do just adjust yourself. You can always make everything a little bit smaller, a little bit less open. And as we work with yin yoga, it can feel quite, triggering is probably a strong word, but it can actually stimulate those internal emotions and those feelings. So if you do feel a bit kind of uncomfortable or any emotions do start to rise, just allow those. But just notice how it feels to be nice and still here this morning. And just start to notice your breath. So yin, we're really trying to lean into finding that stillness. So each time we take a posture, just trying to come to your end of range that feels good. And that's why we have the support of any bolsters, towels, pillows, anything that can just sort of hold the body so that you can really let go of all the tension. So just focusing maybe on closing the eyes if they're not already. Softening the face, allowing any muscles in the face to just let go, no tension in the forehead or the eyes. Maybe the lips gently part and the jaw drops open. And then just focusing on your breath. So as you start to inhale, filling up the belly. And as you exhale, let the belly fall back in towards the spine. So inhaling, filling up. Karen, we're just lying on our back. If you want to, just lie with your arms wide in a little butterfly pose, feet together. So just noticing the breath and where it's travelling today. And when we're in this position, we're really open through our diaphragm. So we're really trying to kind of allow that opening, that expansion through the chest, the shoulders, the diaphragm, finding space for that belly breath. So in through nose, belly rises and fills up. Out through the mouth, belly falls back in towards the spine. In through nose, belly rising, filling up. Exhaling, letting go. And just moving that breath into the belly on the inhale, filling up like a balloon, and letting the belly fall and relax on the exhale. And just notice if the mind is busy, try and bring it back to your breath. You might count your inhale and then try and match your exhale to your inhale. So the inhale, maybe counting, trying to extend it a little bit longer, maybe a second longer. And as you exhale, let the belly fall back in towards the spine. Okay, so we're just lying on our back. So just finding a comfortable position on your back. Maybe soles of the feet together in that butterfly pose. So belly rises, fills up. And as you exhale this time, just imagine you're floating a Malteser or a balloon just above your mouth. So kind of a longer, forceful exhale. See how long you can take that exhale for. So inhale, fill up belly in through nose. And as you exhale, try and lengthen that exhale as you go. Really trying to relax the belly diaphragm, kicking in, doing its job, chest relaxed, rib cage relaxed, no need for any help from those accessory muscles. Inhale, belly rises, exhale. Long, stronger exhale, maybe with some sound and the lips slightly pursed. Taking 2 more of these longer exhales, so maybe counting that inhale and adding at least 2 seconds to your exhale, or maybe doubling your exhale. Going to start to think about moving, so just maybe bring your hands closer to your body and roll yourself off of anything that's underneath you. Just remove that out of the way and lie back onto your back and just circle the knees. So you might just guide the knees out around in circles, just moving gently, taking the hands on top of the knees, taking the knees in opposite directions, and then reverse those circles back the other way. And then just rolling onto one side, we're going to come onto our front, so just slowly taking a little gentle roll over and come onto all fours when you get there. So we'll just take a little bit of cat-cow just to find a little gentle movement, so just stretching, lifting the chin up, lifting the tailbone up, dipping the belly, and then push the floor away round through the spine, tuck the chin in, tuck the tailbone under. And just move between the two in your own time, just gently. Little gentle movements. Exhale as you round and push the floor away. Inhale as you lift and look up. Nice. And then just come back to center. Bring your hands slightly forward and you're going to bring your right knee towards your right wrist. And then bring the foot up towards your left wrist. So coming to our pigeon pose. So we're going to slide that left leg behind, so keep hold of that left foot. It will want to kind of dive back in underneath you, but try and keep the shin as parallel to the front as you can. So you might stay here, you might need some kind of pillow or cushion in front of you, and this is quite nice to actually lie your chest onto if you have something just underneath, so to support you. You can prop something underneath your bottom or underneath the hip if it feels like it's far away from the floor. Now if this one isn't for you, you're going to lie on your back and take your figure of 4 stretch. So option to place one foot over the opposite thigh and draw into that glute stretch on your back. But if you're comfortable in your pigeon pose, you might not be comfortable. It might be one of those poses that feels intense. So staying upright if you need to, supporting yourself a little lower if you can. If your head's not quite on the floor or rested on anything, Anta's lost her video. If it's not rested on anything, you can make a little stack of fists and prop your forehead onto that little stack of fists. We do want to relax here. We want to just allow the body to be here as relaxed as it can be. Good taps, yeah. You can just let that head relax somewhere. So just slow the breath down. And again, this position is quite intense now for our glutes. And we're getting the hip flexor stretch on the opposite leg. So if you start to notice anything coming up here, it's not surprising. Our hips hold a lot of tension and emotion. So I used to feel angry in this pose. Now I just quite like it, so good pain. So we always want to feel just at our end of range where we can feel the stretch, but it's not pain. So on a pain scale, 10 being the worst pain we can imagine, we don't really want to be over a 6. It might be uncomfortable, but we don't want intensity to the point that we cannot breathe or we can't stay in that position. So remembering we're trying to get to our end of range and then find stillness there. But the 2 times we may need to move in yin, have we gone too far and we're holding our breath, or we can't, the intensity starts to build, in which case we may need to just reduce that a little bit, come out of the posture a little bit. Or do we think we can go a little further? Can we drop a little further down? Can we extend, maybe lie onto our front a little bit more? So just finding your end of range and remembering to move if you want to go further in or if you need to come further out. But if you can, just staying with that breath and allowing yourself to be here. So yin becomes that meditative practice where we focus simply on our inhale and our exhale. So just noticing if you need to count your breath. The mind always wants to do something, so give it something simple. Counting your inhale and counting your exhale. Nope. So just allowing maybe your breath to inhale, fill up belly as we did before, and maybe those longer whooshing sounds on the exhale. So we're just there for another 30 seconds. So if it is becoming more intense, can you breathe through that intensity? You breathe into the stillness. So then slowly just start to roll towards that right butt cheek if you're in your pigeon pose. If you're in your reclined figure of 4 stretch, you can just start to straighten out the legs. So if you're lying on your back, you're going to windscreen wiper, or if you're seated, we're just going to bring the feet slightly wide and drop the knees side to side, windscreen wiper through those hips. You can do this lying down if you're on your back anyway. Just rocking knees side to side. And then bring that left foot out in front. If you're on your back, obviously just swap legs. So trying to keep that shin nice and parallel, just start to roll the weight over. If that foot drops in, that's okay, but trying to keep it as far up as you can to really get the most out of that left glute stretch. And again, this side might feel quite different, so just noticing where you can be propped here. Maybe you've got your pillow or something underneath your chest and you're sort of lying out nice and flat and the head is supported on something, or you can bring the backs of the hands on the floor for the head, or maybe you need a little bit higher. You can use a book or a block if you've got one, or just prop those fists in a little pile and prop your head onto that. I'm just keeping my head up so you can hear me, I'm not talking to the floor then. So just allow your breath to become steady again. Find your end of range here and try and sit into it. This is where our yoga practice can really kind of help us and remind us moments in life. So we might be here thinking this feels intense, but knowing we can rely on our breath, focus on our breath to get us through that kind of difficult, intense feeling. but also knowing when it's time to actually move or step away from something. So if we've gone too far into this and it's actually painful, then maybe we know it's time to change position, move, or release, let go a little bit. Just like life, if something's too painful, maybe we need to change path, adapt. However, if it's just that discomfort that's going to help us grow, we can use our breath, breathe through, stick with it, get us there to where we want to go. So again, if that mind becomes busy, just focus on the breath, maybe those longer exhales. Belly rising, filling up, using the diaphragm, and as you exhale, soft whooshing sound through the mouth. Longer exhales, signalling our calm, our parasympathetic state, our rest and digest state. And remembering if there's a little bit further to move into here, you might lay yourself that little bit flatter or just shuffle in, even if it's micro movements. But if you are good where you are, if you're at your full end of range, then just staying there, breathing into it. Last 30 seconds. So very gently, as we start to think about coming out of this again, you might start to slowly walk yourself back up on your hands. And then just roll towards that bottom again. If you're on your back, just windscreen wipering. If you're coming from pigeon, feet in front again, and just take those little rocks of the knees side to side, allowing the hips to release gently. And then we're going to roll ourselves down. So option, just to lie yourself down. If you want to just engage the core a little bit, you might sit up tall and roll super slowly, just to engage that midsection. If you need to support yourself, support yourself. Try and roll down, try and keep control, try and keep those feet flat. There's always a quick bit that wants to go really quick. And then when you get to the floor, you might take that full body stretch, just press the heels away, press the palms away, and take that full body stretch. And then just start to hug your right knee into your chest. Give it a little squeeze in. If you need to flatten off the left foot and bend the knee, you can. Otherwise, extend that left leg along the ground. So just squeeze that right knee in and then draw it a little bit wider. Imagine it could fit under your armpit. So just take it out to the right side slightly, still drawing inwards towards your shoulder. And then we're going to roll that right leg over for our recline twist. So if you've got a pillow or cushion or something nearby, as we roll that right leg over, maybe it can come to rest onto something. If you don't have anything, don't worry, gravity will do the work. Even if that leg is sort of dangling in the air, that's absolutely fine. But if you do have some way of propping something underneath it, it can feel really nice and supportive here. And you might just shuffle the left shoulder back through so that the upper back is as in contact with the floor as it can be, and the chest is open towards the sky, and arms can be wide away from you here in that kind of T shape. And then to complete it, you're going to bring that right, you're going to look over to the right hand, so the head is looking over to the right side. So right leg is over to the left, and eye gaze over to the right. So we get that full twist through the spine. And again, we just start to slow the breath here, maybe count our breath. Again, focusing on those long exhales. Imagine you're blowing bubbles through a straw, perhaps. Just allowing your body to sink into this twist. So twists are actually neutralising for our spine, so if the spine ever feels a bit kind of stiff, or you've done a lot of heavy lifting or workouts or anything, or basketball obviously, we can tend to have a stiff spine from that. So we can just use this twisting motion to settle into and let the body relax and let go. Obviously making sure you do both sides so that we can neutralise the spine. So just focus on the hands being soft here, not gripping. Same with the toes. Just check in with the feet that they're relaxed. Again, you might close the eyes, just let the face soften, no tension in the forehead or the jaw. Body rested and held and relaxed. Very slowly we're going to start to come out of that, so just bring your head back to centre and neutral, and just walk that right foot onto the ground and just roll your body onto your back again gently. You might just straighten out if you feel a little bit wonky on your mats, and then just bring both knees in, give them a little gentle squeeze. You might just rock side to side, massaging the lower back across the floor, and then extend that right leg long, just squeeze the left knee into the chest, a little stretch. And then take that left leg a little bit wider, as if it would fit under the armpit. A little gentle squeeze. And then any bolsters or cushions, just prop them onto your right side, so that as you bring that left leg over, we've got something for that leg to rest onto. But again, if it's dangling and there's nothing there, that's absolutely fine. And just shuffle that right shoulder through towards the right side again, so that the back of the body, the upper back, can be as flat to the ground as possible. So our left shoulder is as supported as it can be, but if it's lifting, that's okay. Just prop yourself and be comfortable. You can always prop something underneath the shoulder if you need. Rolled up towel, jumper, anything will work. And this time we're looking to our left hand as we take the eye gaze over there. And again, you might close the eyes. Just closing the eyes, just drawing the senses inward, can help us to just stay a little bit more with our bodies, with our breath. So as you fill up the belly, even though it's twisted through the diaphragm here, still trying to fill it up on the inhale. And that longer, maybe almost sighing exhale. When we sigh, it's again that signal to our body that we're in that calmer rest and digest state, slowing the body down. And again, if that mind is busy, give it your breath to focus on. Count your inhale, count your exhale, lengthen the exhale. And if you lose your count because your mind is so busy, that's absolutely fine. Just bring it back when you notice. Practice of being still, being with our breath, being with our body. Again, bringing the mind back to the breath if it's wandered away. Fully resting, letting everything go. And gently and carefully rolling back onto your lower back, slowly unwinding from there. And bring the feet so that they're as wide as your mats, and let the knees roll to the right and let the head roll to the left. And then gently back through center, rolling the knees to the left and head to the right. So we get that full twisting windscreen wiper action, full spinal, gentle rocking. And again, rocking is super soothing for our nervous system, so just nice to calm and slow the mind and the breath. So keep the breath steady. A couple more rocks to each side, massaging that back base of the skull across the floor. And I know it feels super short, half an hour is not long enough, so we're coming into Shavasana now, our relaxation, just for a few minutes. So if you do have a bolster or cushion or pillow, you might want to prop it underneath your knees. If you have nothing, you can just lie flat, that is absolutely fine. Or you might even have your feet on the mat and knees dropped in towards one another to keep the spine flat. That is also an option, that constructive rest, or lying out nice and flat in that more star-shaped position, or propping the knees with something underneath if you have that available. So just allowing the whole back of the body to come back into contact with the floor now. And again, close the eyes, soften any tension around the eye muscles, the forehead. Inhale through the nose, fill up the belly. Open the mouth, let it go. Let that belly drop back in towards the spine, and just soften the shoulders into the floor. Let them relax, let the arms be heavy on the ground, palms facing up, fingertips just gently curled in. Let the spine and hips be held by the floor. Let the legs relax. No tension in your toes. Fully held and fully supported here by the floor beneath you. And if that mind wanders, just gently bring it back to your breath. Inhaling, filling up. Exhaling, letting go. Inhale, belly rises, fills up like a balloon. Exhale, belly drops back in, melting into the floor. Which other parts of your body can you allow to just let go? And then just gently start to bring some movement back. So wriggling your fingertips, wriggling your toes. You might circle your ankles or circle your wrists here. Might take a full body stretch, just pressing the palms away overhead and squeezing into the legs, pressing the heels away. And if there's anything under the knees, you might just roll that out of the way now. And hug the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. And if you feel like you need to wake up a little bit, you can roll onto your right side. If you feel you want to stay in that kind of sleepy, cozy yin state, but that's our left side, so just rolling to either side. Just take a moment, curled in a ball there. And then you can gently walk your way up to a seated position. You might keep the eyes closed, you might keep the head bowed down. Any seat, any comfortable seat for a moment. We'll just close the practice with a few breaths together. We will do a little om if that feels strange to you. You don't have to do it if you want to. You can. It's humming super good for our nervous system, our vagus nerve. So have a go if no one's around you, if it feels okay. So just take a big deep inhale, fill up the belly. Sigh out, let it go. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhaling to om or just to listen. humming or chanting is also a really simple way we can extend our exhale. Super powerful for that vagus nerve. Thank you guys. Sorry it was a little short one today. Next week we'll be back to Ashtanga, a little bit more movement. I hopefully enjoyed something a little bit different today. And well done, and thank you for coming, and I'll see you all soon.